Welcome to your pick a pile video. We have pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. If you've already found your pile, go ahead and go to the timestamp below and click on it. If you're new to pick a pile, go ahead and pause the video, find the pile that you feel pulled to, and once again, the timestamp will be listed in the description below. So go ahead and just click on that timestamp and you'll find your reading there. So thank you, and I can't wait to see you in your reading. Welcome pile 1 to your reading. You chose the onyx stone. It's the little black stone here. This one's not shiny. It is more raw. And onyx has to do, well, first and foremost, it's a protection stone. It's one of the stronger ones. Most black stones are protection stones. But onyx also deals with perseverance and just continuing on, also good for finding balance. So if you picked onyx, maybe that's something that you need to find in your life, is just a little balance. Understand that, you just kind of gotta keep going, give yourself the benefit of the doubt that you're working hard, and maybe you do need to protect yourself a little bit. So pile 1, let's go ahead and get into your reading, because we got a lot going on with this message, and I haven't even really delved into it. So let's start with you, not who you are as a person, just who you are in the situation. And here we have the Hermit. Now, the Hermit is about you going inside, being within yourself, reflecting, giving yourself the time and ability to do what you need to do. And it's just one of those cards where it's saying, I'm going to go within myself. Trying to say too many words at the same time there. I'm going to go within myself and I'm going to find the answers internally instead of going external for the answers. So that's a great place to be, actually. And then we have the root of the issue. So we have the Magician, and we have the Nine of Swords. So let's talk about the Magician first, because again, this is the root of the issue. This is why we're asking the question. And this is the Magician. And with the Magician, we have the ability to create, the ability to do. We have all the tools and resources that we need to give and do what we want to do. The Magician is saying that you're wanting to move forward, that you're wanting to create, that you're wanting to build, and you have everything you need. But then we have the Nine of Swords here, who's telling me that, we have a lot of fears, a lot of anxieties. We're having troubles believing in ourselves. We're having trouble sleeping. And it's just one of those things where, we'd rather stress about what we can and can't do than actually do the thing that we want to do. The Nine of Swords is one of those things where swords are about air, our thoughts, our mind, our mentality. So when I see the Nine of Swords, I see that we're in a really uncomfortable place mentally. We're feeling a bit unstable, and we just want things to make sense. We just want things to fit. But the problem is we want the things to make sense and fit before we start doing the thing that we want to build. So the problem is that we're keeping ourselves away from being the magician that we want to be by our thoughts. And now we have what's holding us back. And we have the Five of Cups, and we have the Seven of Swords. Look at that cute little puppy wearing a cat hat. Yeah, cat hat. So the Seven of Swords is the one we're going to start with first, just because it's adorable, and I want to explain why I'm in love with this card. Because if you don't know, the Seven of Swords is the deceit card, the trickery card. This is saying that, in some way you were deceived. Now, I always like to call it self-deception, because just as you can clearly see that doggo's in a kitty hat, a lot of times when we're being deceived, it's one of those where we know we're being deceived, we just don't want to see it. Yes, it could be that someone is truly pulling the rug underneath our feet and we have no idea about it. But whenever I do tarot, and in most cases, I always find that it's you allowing yourself to be deceived, because it's easier to be deceived than it is to see the truth. And then we're going to go to the Five of Cups. And this is the grief card. There's no way around it. It is grief. Grief is a very real thing that we have to go through, that we have to experience. And the only way to get over grief is by experiencing grief and going through it. Now, this is what's holding us back. So I'm seeing that there is something that happened that has caused a very real emptiness in our heart, in our feelings, in our emotions. And, it's one of those things where when we have to grieve, when we do grieve, it is just something you have to work through, but the feelings are very real and you have to allow them to come. But when I have this paired with the deception card, I'm seeing that we're trying to convince ourselves that we're okay when we're not. It's one of those things where it's like these two cards combined telling me that instead of allowing yourself the process that you need, you'd rather just pretend that everything's fine and that you got this together. And that's not how we're going to go through life and be able to expect us to do well. And I'm just realizing that most of these cards are upright, and that's really odd for me in a reading, but whatever. Okay, so what is going to help us slash our advice slash grounding cards? We have the Six of Pentacles, which are strawberries with no suit, and we have the Hanged Cat. So let's talk about Pentacles. If you've had a few of my readings, you know that Pentacles is not just about finances, it's about time, energy, and health, because you spend time, you spend energy, and hopefully we're not spending our health. So when I see the Six of Pentacles, I see that you are in some way going to be receiving something. It could be financial, it could be a financial boon, a loan, charity, something along those lines, but it could also be assistance of some way. It could be someone coming in to help you, someone giving you their energy, or it could be you receiving time that you didn't have originally. When that happens, it's like one of those things where you keep saying, I'm running out of time. Hi, puppers. I have a puppy visit. It could be one of those things where you say you're running out of time, you don't have enough time, and then all of a sudden you have like a free weekend. So the time is what it is. It's one of those things where, you're going to be receiving something, and that's a great thing to see. But we also have the Hanged Cat here, which is asking us to see things from a different perspective. The cat's literally hanging upside down going, I don't know what I'm doing, let alone the fact that it's in a tree. This is a very confused cat. But even though it's a very confused cat, it's a cat seeing things from a completely different perspective that I would not normally see things, and that's what this card's about. Maybe you are in a confused place. Maybe you are in a stuck place. Maybe you are in a tree hanging by your tail. Like, okay, you're there. Now see what you can do differently. See how you can get yourself out of it. Allow yourself to see what is different and what is new and what you can learn about from this perspective. So that way when you land on all fours again, because cats always land on all fours, I'm going to stick with that theory. I have plenty of cats in my life. I know sometimes they don't land on all four paws, but cats always land on all four paws. So what we're going to do is we're going to see how we can, make things different or do things differently when we decide to let go of the branch and land on our feet. Which then leads us to our next steps card, which is the Ten of Wands. Now the Ten of Wands with this card is just a cat holding a bunch of, I'm going to say catnip personally, but I'm sure it's, weed or something like that. Or maybe just grass, wheat, grass, whatever it wants to be. But the truth be told about this card is even though this cat is just holding on to 10 pieces of something, the Ten of Wands is coming and telling me that you are just carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. You have a lot going on. You're tired. You're exhausted. And with that being said, know that this isn't forever. Know that right now you do have to continue to persevere. Know that you do have to continue to push forward. Know that it is important for you to do what you're doing, but this is not forever. It's temporary, and it's just going to be a little while longer. Also, when I see this card, I really challenge you to see what you can put down in the moment. Maybe you can put 2 or 3 of those wands down and, carry them the rest. Put 2 or 3. I'm sorry, it's late. I have a really crazy weekend and I am recording this, so I'm sorry if, I'm gurgling. And now I have a puppy who's chewing on a bone to add to the chaos. So, anywho, with the 10 wands, see if you can put 2 or 3 of them down. So that way you only have to carry, 7 or 8 up the hill and then come back for 2 or 3. What can you prioritize? What can you maybe drop in the moment and come back to? Then we have our internal influences, and this is our only reverse card in the whole reading. And this is the Six of Wands reversed. Now, this is what's going on inside of you, and the Six of Wands is always the victory card. So either in its upright or reverse position, it's something that you want to see. But when I see the Six of Wands in its reverse position, it's almost like a shallow victory. It's like, yeah, you won, but did the end justify the means? Did the end justify the means? I said that right. Is it something that, you really wanted? He's going to be up noisy. I'm sorry. He's like 6 months old, almost 6 months old. We're working with it. Did the end justify the means? Was it something that you really wanted? Are you even happy with the victory? Like, this is something where you really have to look at yourself in the mirror and decide if it's worth it. Hold on. I'm going to get him out of here. I'm going to pause this. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. He has this bone that's bigger than him. Long story short, he decided to drag it in here and he just makes a lot of noise with it, and I didn't know if you could hear me over the bone that kept hitting the floor because he wants to just drag it everywhere. So the last two cards, the way to a possible outcome. We have the Ace of Wands, which then leads us to the Fool. So let's talk about the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is you having new passion, desire, drive, creativity, wanting to do. And when I see this card, I see that, you know, whatever this passion is, whatever this desire, whatever this drive is, you're going to enjoy it, you're going to do it, and it's great things are going to happen with it. So just lean into that fire, lean into that passion, lean into that desire, and then allow yourself just to be the Fool, allow yourself to go on wherever it takes you and enjoy the journey, because the Fool is one of those cards where you're just in the journey for the journey. This cat is literally chasing this bumblebee, having no worries or fears about what's going, what its path ahead of it is. It just wants to chase the bumblebee. Also, maybe another hidden message there. The bee can sting it or not. Who knows? That's part of the journey. So now that we did all the cards individually, let's pull your full story together, because like I said, you have a lot going on, pile one, and you really do. You also have a lot of major arcana. So like with you being the Hermit right now, that's telling me that you are in a place where you're, you know, contemplating things and you're thinking about things, but instead of giving yourself the ability to do what you want to do and need to do, you are more stuck in your head. You're being the Hermit and you're trying to get yourself out of whatever this is. But as the Hermit right now, you really need to be doing actions and not staying in your head, because staying in your head's not getting you anywhere. And it's definitely not helping you in any way. And what's holding us back is that we're just not giving ourselves the ability to experience the emotions that we need to. Instead, we'd rather believe that we're okay and everything's going to work out when that's not the case. We need to be honest with ourselves, and we really need to give into those emotions about whatever happened. Because what happened hurt. What happened sucked. What happened was not fun, but what happened is something you need to work with. You need to work with those emotions. You need to allow yourself to cry. You need to allow yourself to grieve. You need to allow yourself just the chance to let it out. And when you do that, you're going to find that there's things for you. You're going to find that extra energy, that extra time. And right now, you're just hanging upside down in a tree, and you're not allowing yourself to learn from this experience either. Yes, there's things that we can't control. Yes, there's things that seem unfair. But instead of trying to fix the situation, look at yourself. See what you see about yourself that's differently. See what you can do about yourself that's differently. Remember I talked about the cat landing on all four paws? Land on four paws and see what you can do differently. Give yourself that chance. Because right now, yeah, you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. And I'm sorry about that, pile one. That's not something that any of us want to do. But again, it's temporary. Just push through and give yourself the ability to believe that what you're doing is the right thing for yourself. So that way you can enjoy whatever this new journey is. These two cards together are beautiful. This is you having renewed passion, renewed desire, renewed hope to create and go on something new. So give yourself that ability, pile one. Our oracle cards, our dragon card is seek knowledge. And how appropriate is that with you being the Hermit? It is 100% correct. But when we're seeking knowledge, we're also giving ourselves the ability to be in the moment. We're giving ourselves to be in the present. We're not, thinking about the past, and we're not thinking about the future, because there's no knowledge in the past, there's no knowledge in the future, there's knowledge in words and wisdom and reading and allowing yourself to learn and allowing yourself to do. So if you're seeking knowledge, you're actively doing something that's bringing you in the present. Our other oracle card here is Whale Song, resonating. And then we have Benefactor, grace and generosity. What I love about this is Benefactor goes perfectly with our Six of Pentacles. Like that is, I don't know how to make them so they're not like super crooked, sorry. But that is like, those two things can't be more hand in hand than what they are. That's pretty awesome. So something is coming to you, pile one. I'm not sure what it is, but something is coming to you. But let's talk about Whale Song. Let's talk about resonating. Because to me, it's one of those things where when I see this card, I think about the fact that when you hear a whale sing, first off, you're in the ocean, you're in the water. Like you can't hear it from land unless that's a really confused whale. And if that, to me, that's telling me that we're in our emotions. When we allow ourselves to be in our emotions, when we allow ourselves to be in the water, that's when we hear the beauty of the song. That's when things resonate. That's when things click. That's when things go. So give yourself that ability, pile one, to just go into those emotions and deal and handle. And if it has to just, come over you, if you just have to literally give into your emotions in such a deep way, do it. Because something beautiful is going to come out of that, pile one. You are going to come out of that, and it's going to be beautiful, and it's going to be great. You just have to believe in yourself, and you have to give yourself the ability to express what you've been holding on to, or what you need to release. I'm not sure what it is, but I do know that there is a need for release. Okay, pile one, that was a reading. Comment in the description below. You tell me. I'm not going to tell you. You tell me what you're going through, and I'll help you through, what it is, whether it's, how to deal with the emotions, how to clear the deception. Maybe it's a little bit of surrendering. Let me know what I can do to help you in the comments below. If you want a private reading, there's a link in the description below. This is for your reading, pile one, and I can't wait to read for you again soon. Bye. Welcome, pile two, to your reading. If you pick pile two, you pick the amethyst stone. This is a raw amethyst. I think it's also called like phantom or something. I don't know. There's a lot of different versions of it, but pretty much it's just a raw amethyst. And the reason why I picked the raw stone this video is because there's something beautiful about things being unfinished. There's something beautiful about things just being the way they are. And that's part of the reason why I love this stone so much. Also, if you picked amethyst, it's known for its ability for protection, for sobriety, for bringing clarity and understanding. It helps with your intuition. It helps you connect with the divine. So it's just a really good overall good stone to have. So think about that as we go forward with our reading. All right, pile two, let's dive in and see what we have here. All right, so this is you, not who you are as a person, just who you are in the situation. And this is the Chariot reversed. Now, the Chariot in its upright and reverse position are both about moving forward. Whatever it is that's happening, whatever it is that's going on, you are still moving forward. But in its reverse position, we're just not going very fast. It's like a traffic jam or a detour or a flat tire. It's one of those things where, we're not moving the way we want to be. Things are a little off kilter, things are a little off balance, but we're still going forward, and that's what matters. So let's focus on the fact that we're going forward. The root of the issue is we got the Queen of Staffs, also known as Wands, and we have the Eight of Staffs in reversed. So let's talk about the Queen first, because this is you, not who you are as a person, just who you are in the situation right now. And this is about you having the ability to create, to do, to know how to get what you want. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get the glare off the card. To try to get what you want done. You have the ability to just do what needs to be done without actually thinking about it. You have a very natural way to nurture. You just create a very loving and happy environment. I also feel called to point out the black cat down here, which also shows that, some of the things that we act upon, some of the things that we do are more because we feel it in our gut more than logic, and that's a great thing to see too. So now let's talk about the Eight of Staffs in its reverse position here, because this is one of those cards that means smooth sailing. It means that things are going to land and everything's going to be in the way it's supposed to, but maybe not in the way that you're hoping for. So it's one of those where things land where they are supposed to, things are happening in a way that they're supposed to, but not in the way that we're hoping for. What I mean by that is it's one of those things where it's, you are, you're going for a loan and you're hoping to get, $10,000 and you only get $9,000. Well, $9,000 was enough with what you had left in the bank, but you're still hoping to have that little bit of cushion. You're getting exactly what you need. It's just not what you're hoping for. There's a slight disappointment with it. It's one of those reminders too, where we have to trust the process. And trusting the process is not always a comfortable place to be, but we have to give ourselves the ability to know that things are happening in a way that they are meant to. Just because they're not happening in a way that we want them to be doesn't mean that's not happening in the way it's supposed to be. Sorry, that was really wordy. All right, what's holding us back? We have the Knight of Swords, and we have the High Priestess, both reversed, and they're holding us back. Let's talk about the Knight of Swords here. So knights like to go, they like to do, they like to be, all about moving, going, flowing. And swords are about our thoughts, our mind, our intellect, our, everything air. So when I have the Knight of Swords reversed here, I see that we are finding ourselves kind of in a tornado that's just not stopping. Our mind is just swirling with thoughts, swirling with ideas, swirling with everything but stillness. And when we don't have that stillness, it's really hard to find that stillness. It's really hard to put ourselves in the center of the storm sometimes. So with the Knight of Swords being what's holding us back, it almost feels like the chaos is more what's in your brain than what's going on the outside. But because you can't focus on what's going on in your brain, it's being reflected on the outside, which is probably why the High Priestess is reversed, because we can't listen to our intuition if we can't actually find stillness and silence. So the High Priestess being reversed is about you knowing what you need to do. It's about you being in a place of understanding, connection, and having that intuition, but instead of following it, you're resisting it. You're saying that doesn't make sense, I'm not going to do it. It's kind of like when your GPS decides to tell you to turn left on a path that you know a lot, really well, that you always turn right on. And instead of, following the GPS to turn left to avoid a huge wreck and traffic jam, you turn right only to end up in the center of whatever, because turning right made sense. It was logical, where turning left is just crazy. And why would I do that if it's going to take me extra 5 minutes? For here, the extra 5 minutes would have been quicker than that 30-minute traffic jam you just sat in. I don't know why, but traffic's on my brain. All right, advice/grounding cards. So we have the Six of Cups, and we have the Ace of Cups reversed. Let's talk about the Six of Cups, actually, because the Six of Cups is one of those cards that I always considered a trap card, but in this time I see how it's being beneficial. The Six of Cups is our nostalgia card. It's the card of the past. It's a card of remembering, of thinking about things that we've done, and, finding comfort in that. And when I see this card, it can mean two things, specifically in this position. It can mean that you're going through something that you've already done, and congratulations, you can do it again. Or it's that someone's going to come help you from your past. I'm going to continue to look at the other cards, but just know that when I see this card specifically in this position, that it's a reminder that you're, whether you've done this before and you can do it again, or that someone's going to come help you from the past, that this isn't something that is this isn't something that's impossible for you to do. This is a reminder that this is something that you can do. You just have to kind of work through it, unfortunately. Which leads me to my Ace of Cups reversed here. Because when I see the Ace of Cups reversed, aces are always about new beginnings, even the Ace of Cups. But when I get the Ace of Cups, it's like this new beginning is aggravating us. It's destroying us on the inside, and we're not happy with the emotions that we're feeling. So think of it like when you get a puppy. I'm going to use a puppy as an example because I have one right now, and I love him to death. He's adorable. He's cute. But he's also very tiring, aggravating, lots of energy. And when I'm tired or sick, he just wants to go, go, go. And in those moments, I'm not enjoying the fact that he's a puppy. I'm really just wanting to heal, to recover, and not want to deal with all that little energy that he is. Don't get me wrong, I love my puppy. I do. But that is the point of what I'm getting at with the Ace of Cups reversed. You're so focused on the aggravating part of whatever your situation is that you're not giving yourself the ability to lean into the new fun part. You're focused on the fact that this feels uncomfortable, that this isn't fun, that there's a lot going on, that you don't know what you're doing, and we need to reverse that mentality. We need to reverse that thought. We need to get ourselves into the heart space of childlike joy so we can enjoy this again. This is our next steps. This is the Three of Staves. So with the next steps here, this card, unfortunately, means patience. I love this card and hate this card at the same time because wands, or staves as they are in this deck, are about action, passion, drive, desire. It's a fire. It's literally the element of fire. So when fire is told to be still, it almost seems contradictory, but there's a point to it. The truth is you can fill out as many applications for whatever it is that you're trying to get, but none of those applications make even a lick of difference until you get something returned back to you, until you get message of acceptance or decline, until you get an offer, until you get whatever it is. This is where we have to wait. This is where we have to just trust that whatever we've done so far is enough, and now it's the time for us to wait for the return. Our internal influences is the Three of Pentacles. And if you've done a reading with me, you know that Pentacles is not just about finances. It's about your time, energy, and health, because you spend time, you spend energy. Hopefully we're not spending our health. So when I see the Three of Pentacles in its reverse position at the internal influence position, sorry, it's been a long weekend. I'm recording this pretty late tonight, and my thoughts are getting jumbled. But the Three of Pentacles in the reverse position, when it comes to our internal influences, is telling me that you're getting really frustrated because you feel like people aren't seeing the work that you've done. With that being said, I want to point out to you that when your time and energy is being put into something to help better yourself, to help better you, your life, or whatever it is, this isn't about other people recognizing you. This is about you recognizing you. So when I see this in the reverse position, in this position specifically, I want you to know that it's not about what the others see, it's about what you know. So give yourself the grace and the ability to say, I've been doing what I need to do. I've been working on what I need to work on. I know what I'm doing, and everything else is going to fall into place. Which is going to lead me to our next two cards, the way to a possible outcome. So our way to is the Five of Cups, and our possible outcome is the Four of Pentacles reversed. So let's talk about the Five of Cups, because this is a grief card. And when I see the grief card, I know that there is something that has happened that we need to work through. And the only way to work through it, the only way to get past the grief, is by allowing yourself to experience the grief. Grief is not something that can be avoided. We have to work through it. We have to give into it. We have to allow ourselves the capacity to just cry, to let go, to feel, to whatever it is, we have to experience it in order to get over it. Which then leads me to the Four of Pentacles reversed. Again, Pentacles being about time, energy, and even finances. When I have it in its reverse position, I see that you've worked hard to obtain what you have, and you're so afraid of losing it that you're holding on so tightly that it's hurting you. The Four of Pentacles in its reverse position is someone grasping something so tightly and not giving it the chance to grow. I'll show it in the upright position. This person just wants to hold on to these pentacles. Wants to make sure they're theirs and that nothing ever happens to it. Now it's reversed again. Not that it changes the image, but the point is when we're in the reverse position, we need to give ourselves the chance to plant the pentacles. We need to give ourselves the chance to, let go, to give up to something. Like, you can't hold on to everything all the time. You need to give yourself the ability to, give your time to something else, give your energy to something else, maybe even give your money to something else in order to grow. Because if you just hold on to what you have and it stays stagnant, stagnation is death. That is how nature works. So let's not do that. Let's give ourselves the ability to grow and let go of things, loosen up a little bit. So now that we did all the cards individually, let's pull the full story together, pile two. Because this is kind of a heaty message going on. We kind of have a lot going on right now. So you are on whatever you're going for, whatever you're going through, pile two, you're on your way. Like, the journey's happening, you're moving forward. The chariot doesn't stop just because it's reversed. It just means it's delayed, but you're still going in the right direction. But also, I know you're doing everything you're supposed to. Why do I know that? Because we literally have so much supporting you on the bottom. We got the Queen of Staves. This is you. This is you and you having the ability to do what you need to do. But you're just getting aggravated because things aren't going the way you want them to. You're disappointed that it's not being, in your mind, perfect, which is leading you to the aggravation of, instead of allowing yourself to experience this newness, to just get mad, to get aggravated, and to... It's almost like that you don't even want to get mad, that you don't want to get aggravated, that you just rather not deal with it. You'd rather not even have it. But like, when we have these emotions, we need to allow ourselves to experience them. What also is going to help us is a reminder that we've A, either gone through this in the past, or B, that we've done something where we can have people who can help us. Somebody from our past can help us and bring us forward. Again, this card, the Six of Cups, is really about remembering the good times of our past and knowing that, things are going to get better. But it's also remembering that, we've gotten over worse, or we've gotten over similar situations. And if that's not the case, let's reach out to someone who has gone through it that we know who can help us. Because what's holding us back is us. We are so in our own mind, we are so in our own head that we just need to be still. And when we're still, we need to listen to our gut. We need to listen to whatever that non-logical thing is that's telling us to do, just do it. If you're being told that, you need to clean your kitchen right now in order to, feel better about yourself, if that's what your body's telling you, clean your kitchen, okay? It doesn't have to make sense, just do it. If you're going to the store and you know that this one store has stuff on sale, but for whatever reason, you're being told to go to the other store, just go to the other store. They might have a better sale even though you don't know about it. I'm not saying it's going to make sense, but you really need to trust your gut. You really need to follow the logic, you really need to follow the non-logic in order for spirit to come in and help you. Because right now you're in a waiting game. Unfortunately, this is what you are. You're in a time where you need to be patient. You're in a time where you have to allow things to go in the order that they happen in. Stop seeking that approval, pile 2, because right now you need to give yourself the credit for the things that you've done. You need to give yourself the ability to just go through what you're going through and just loosen up on what you think is yours and that you deserve, so that way you can come into peace. Let's look at our oracle cards. Specifically this one. It's Woodwives, adaptability. What I love about this card is it just goes with your whole message of your reading about, following your gut, trusting your intuition, and, doing what you need to. The other card that we have is Eyes of the Eagle, Rise Above the Fray. And this has everything to do with the whole Knight of Swords and the High Priestess reversed. Both of them just fly above it right now. Get to the center of the storm. Get to the eye of the storm so that way you can get that clear head. And then our last oracle card, Creation. What I love about this is a reminder that no matter what's going on in your life, like look at that. It's called Creation, and it's a dark dragon holding a ball of light. And it's a reminder that even in our darkest moments, even in our darkest spaces, we can create our own light, we can create our own love, we can create our own path, we can create our own way. And I feel like that's really important for you to do right now, pile 2. So comment in the description or comment in the links below. Tell me what it is that you're going on. Tell me what it is that we're going through so we can find a way to help you get to a more comfortable position and we can really get you to a place of peace, pile 2. I know what you're going through is rough. I don't understand it personally myself, but I know you do. So let's work through this together. That is your reading, pile 2. If you want a private reading, there is a link in the description below. And I can't wait to read for you again too. Sorry, I can't wait to read for you again soon. I will see you again, pile 2. Bye-bye. Welcome, pile 3, to your reading. If you pick pile 3, this is the quartz crystal that was on top of it. Quartz is an all-around just good crystal to have. It's one of those where it's a protection, it's a healer, it's kind of like an amplifier. It's a cleansing stone. If you're trying to rid yourself of negative energy, it's just one of those really good all-around stones to have. So maybe pile 3, you are just in a place where you need a little bit of everything, and that's okay. Let's get into our reading. So the first card is you, not who you are as a person, just who you are in the situation. And this is the 5 of Cups. So with the 5 of Cups here, I see that we are really upset that we're dealing with some things. Specifically in this card, what I love about it is there's little dragons coming in and being like, hey, we're here for the party, but there's 2 cups spilled over and the dude looks really shocked. The thing about the 5 of Cups, and the thing to remember, is this is a card about grief. There is something that's been lost that you can't regain back. And the only way to get through that is by literally allowing yourself to grieve. There's no way to avoid grief. Grief is something that we all have to deal with. We all have to go through. The only way to get over it is to allow yourself to do it. The root of the issue, we have King of Pentacles reversed, and we have the Emperor in the upright position. Let's talk about the King of Pentacles first. If you've had some readings with me, you know that Pentacles is not, I cannot get this, not have a glare on it. You know that Pentacles is not just about our finances, it's about our time, energy, and health. Because you spend your time, you spend your energy, and hopefully we're not spending our health. Sorry, didn't mean to cough on you. When I have the King of Pentacles reversed, I see that instead of our allowing ourselves to be in a place where We know how to manage our time and our energy well. We know how to use our resources wisely. We're just kind of being impulsive. We're being really almost argumentative and like finding excuses and everything, because that's easier than actually doing what it is what we need to do. The King of Pentacles also shows me that we're in a place where we'd rather cast blame on others instead of taking responsibility for ourselves. And it's not like in the victim mode thing. It's more or less along the lines of, well, it was raining that day and I just didn't want to take my car out and, you know, blah, 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 blah. It's putting blame on things that aren't uncontrollable, but also ability for you to be able to find excuses. And then we have the Emperor down here, also the root of the issue. And the Emperor is using logic and reasoning. It's a divine masculine. It's us, you know, creating, building, holding a place and a space where we are able to do that, what it is that we need to do. And when I see these two cards together, specifically at this spot, it seems like they're almost contradictive, but at the same time, it's one of those things where we can be doing everything we need to be doing. We can be following the logic. We can see the analytical side. We can be doing everything, but we might just be in a place of complaining, and we might be in a place of, you know, chasing the shiny thing, even from a logical standpoint. Like, you know, I'm going to buy this new thing to fix my behavior. I'm going to buy this new thing to fix my problem. I'm going to spend time and energy into this new thing, and then my life is going to get better. So I feel like that's what's happening right now, pile 3. What's holding us back is the Ace of Cups reversed and the Sun reversed. So let's talk about the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups, the glare, man, the glare. Okay, Ace of Cups is about new beginnings. Aces are always about new beginnings, and they're upright and reverse position. And when I see Cups in its reverse position, you still have new emotions going on. You still have something going on in your life where, you know, it's exciting, but right now, instead of being excited about it, you're leaning into the aggravation with it. An easy example for me right now is it's like getting a new puppy. I love my puppy. He's almost 6 months old now, and he's just adorable, sweet, and very loving, but he's also at the point where he's high energy, and he doesn't understand that mommy doesn't feel good sometimes, and mommy just needs to lay on the couch. He just wants to play, go, go, go. If I don't take him out for a walk, I really regret it right now because, again, just constant ball of energy, just constant need. And when you see the Ace of Cups reversed, I can either just allow myself to get miserable about the fact that I might not be feeling good in the moment and I really want to take time for myself, or I can allow myself to realize that he's just being very puppy, very childlike, and he's just, you know, doesn't even have the ability to resonate that, you know, something might be wrong with mom, and that's okay. So when you have this, you know, Ace of Cups moment, lean into whichever side that works for you, but really we need to lean into the happiness, joyness of the newness instead of getting stuck into the aggravated and the disappointed and the clumsiness that comes with it. And then our Sun reversed here. So the Sun being us learning lessons, the Sun being energy, the Sun being just wanting to go, wanting to tell the world what we know, wanting to do, just rejuvenation all around. But when it's reversed, we're not confident, actually. Like we know that we learned something new. We know that we completed a lesson. We know that there's something going on in our lives that we're never going to have to do again. And we're proud of that, but we just aren't sure about it at the same time. It's one of those things where you just lack the confidence to go forward with what you're doing. Stop lacking the confidence. Why are you lacking the confidence? Because you're frustrated right now, because you're not leaning into that joy. Lean into that joy. Give yourself the ability to say, hey, I did a thing, and go forward, because that's what's going to help. Speaking of what's going to help, let's get to our advice/grounding cards. And we have the Ace of Wands reversed, and we have the Seven of Swords reversed. Let's talk about the Ace of Wands. Again, Ace is always being about new beginnings. It's always about you doing something new. It's about, you know, things happening. And when I see the Ace of Wands, I see that you're in a place of new passion, drive, desire, the ability to create, the ability to do, the ability to just lean into and follow your hope and hearts. Sorry, my cat's trying to knock stuff over my bookshelf. And when it's reversed, instead of giving into that excitement, that passion, that fire, desire, and drive, you're smoldering it. You're literally smoldering it. You're creating smoke. You're trying to keep it in. You're not giving yourself the ability to go out and enjoy it. And then the Seven of Swords reversed. Seven of Swords, this card is the deception card. Here's the thing though, you're always the one deceiving yourself. I don't think I've ever pulled this card and it's only been someone else deceiving you. Specifically in the reverse position. Why in the reverse position? Is it more you deceiving yourself or allowing yourself to be deceived? Because when it's in the reverse position, you know about it. When it's in its reverse position, you know what the deception is. And you're still allowing to either believe it, lean into it, or not acknowledge it because it's more convenient for you. Come on, pile 3. We really need to give in to ourselves. We really need to just trust. We need to lean in, and we need to get the confidence to do what we need to stand up for ourselves. Because the Star Reversed is our next step here. The Star Reversed is telling me that right now, you're in the middle of it, okay? You're in the middle of the shit, and I get that, but you have to keep going forward. You have to keep going after whatever it is your goal is. I always like to talk about when I see this card, please stop trying to knock stuff off. Sorry, cat, try and knock stuff off. But when I get the Star reversed, I see that we're in a tunnel, okay? And it's a very long tunnel. And when you get to the middle is when you get to the darkest part of the tunnel. And you can either turn around and go back to that beginning of the tunnel because that's where you know, that's where you know there's light and that's where the steps that you've already taken. Or you can continue to go forward in darkness and trust that there's going to be a light on the other side. And just take it a step at a time in the unknown where you can't see anything. And that's what this card is about. It's about you being in that middle point and having to go forward even though you can't see where it is yet. Even though you don't know what steps are ahead of you. Even though you have no clue what you're about to face. Keep moving forward. Our internal influences. The Nine of Wands reversed. Again, the glare. Okay. So with the Nine of Wands, this is my Wounded Warrior card. This is you being exhausted, you doing everything that you need to, everything that you can. You've been doing it for a while. I get it. But when I have the Nine of Wands reversed, it's a reminder that don't give up, okay? Don't give up because the Wounded Warrior only has just a little bit more to go and they're going to win. You're almost there. The Wounded Warrior is tired, but they're a great strategizer. They have the ability to put things to their advantage because what they're doing, what they're fighting, they've already been fighting over and over again. So we just have to strategize. We have to find a way to take what's going on and make it advantageous to us. What do I mean by that? The story I like to give with the Wounded Warrior is he's fought many battles. He's looking around and he sees there's a bunch of wood debris. I'm going to go ahead and make myself a fort. Makes himself a fort. Realize that, hey, I have a little bit of protection. I'm really exhausted. I'm going to take a nap. Wounded Warrior takes a nap for the first time in days. After the Wounded Warrior's gotten some sleep, they realize they're starving and they're going to go scavenge for food. They find some berries. They bring it back to their fort because they have excess. They store some of their berries in their fort and they continue on. The point of this story is to be strategic about what you have, about the resources that you have around you and what you can do in the moment to make it better. You're almost there. And then our way to our possible outcome is the Queen of Pentacles to the Six of Swords reversed. Both good cards to see right now. Let's talk about the Queen of Pentacles. Your way to. The Queen of Pentacles is you utilizing your time, your energy, your resources. It's you doing, creating, but also understanding the timing of everything in a way that it benefits you. The Queen of Pentacles is Pentacles is earth energy. So when we have the Queen of Pentacles, we have someone who's very nurturing, very loving, knows how to have a homestead and keep a homestead. And it is your own home that you're keeping, no matter what that looks like. The Queen of Pentacles knows how to plant things so that way they can be watered and they can be ready for when she needs them. It's about doing things now that are going to benefit you later. That's everything that she's about. Which then leads us to the Six of Swords reversed. And the Six of Swords, what I love about this card is this is a transition card. And I always say that the heart has to follow the mind. Your mind might be the first one to make the decision, and your heart is going to follow. When I see the Six of Swords reversed, I see that you've already started this transition, that you already started the journey, that you're already doing the work to get to where you need to be. But right now, It's just your heart's not there yet. Your mind knows that everything's going to be okay. Your mind knows that everything's going to work out, but your heart is a little slower to follow, and that's okay. Because emotions are big, emotions are something that have to be worked through, and emotions are a little different. It's easy to change the mind. It's not so easy to change the heart. Keep moving forward, though, and your heart will understand that everything's going to be okay. So now that we did all the cards individually, let's pull the full story together. Because pile 3, you're going through it. And I get that you're exhausted. I get that what you're going through is hard. And I understand 100% that this is a situation that has taken a lot out of you. Whatever you're grieving, whatever this is, it has taken away your ability to have the confidence in everything you do. You have the Sun reversed, you have the Ace of Cups reversed, you have your King of Pentacles reversed, you even have your Ace of Wands reversed. Like, this was a major change that happened. Maybe it was something that you agreed to, maybe it was something you didn't agree to. I'm not sure, but I know that whatever happened, it took the confidence out of you. It took a part of you, and you don't know how to get it back. The Seven of Swords here being reversed is, I believe, you trying to convince yourself that you're okay and everything is fine and that everything's going to be the same, but that's not the case. Be realistic. Admit that this sucks. Admit that it's fucking hard. Do what you need to for you to make it through this, because you're going to get through it, okay? You're going to. You're there. You're just at the darkest spot, and the darkest spot is the hardest part. Believe in yourself. Give in to yourself. Understand that you're exhausted, and it's okay to be exhausted, but this isn't going to be forever. Remember to be your Queen of Pentacles. Remember to have the time and the ability to plant seeds now, so that way later down the road you're going to be able to benefit from it. Give yourself that ability to trust that everything's happening in its own time, and use your resources, use your time, use your energy in a way that is beneficial for you. And understand that you are going to make this transition. You are going to make through this. It's just going to take a little bit more time. Let's pull your oracle cards here, because this one's speaking really loud to me right now. Lay of the land, ancestral wisdom. What I love about this card is there's a person on a mountaintop or a hill or whatever it is, but that's still a climb. And look how excited they are to be there in front of the full moon, in the middle of possibly a desert. And it's a beautiful reminder that sometimes the greatest things that we can go through, the greatest journeys that we can do are solitary, but those are our biggest triumphs. And that's also a reminder that you're not alone in this. You have people to support you. You have the whereabouts, you have the know-how, you have those behind you, maybe not in real life, but in a very spiritual way to support you. And then this one, hollow bone, teachability. What I love about this is it looks like a flute or some type of instrument. And the thing about teachability is you can learn anything. But when it comes to instruments, if you're a musician, you might understand this metaphor a little better, but think you all have your general songs or genre that you play that are easy for you to learn, and then you pick up a piece of sheet music or pick up something, and it's something that's completely outside your normal. And now for the first time in a while, you have to really focus on what you're doing. And right now, pile 3, I feel like this is where you're at, where your norm has gotten taken from you and you're being placed in front of a new genre of music, and you really need to focus right now. Our last card for oracles is protect your ideas. And what I love about this card is it really reminds me of that Ace of Wands that's reversed right now, because this is your inspiration, this is your help, this is your grounding. And that is my cat, who is sad because he's locked into my office. He'll get out, don't worry. But this is your inspiration. This is you wanting to do what you need to do for yourself. And if you keep pushing off the time and the ability to lean into that, it's not going to be easy for you to go through for what you're doing. But if you protect those ideas, if you give yourself the ability to give into that fire, you're going to find that this might be a lot easier for you, pile 3. So go ahead and comment down and let me know what you're going through right now, pile 3. What is it that is just got you so stuck that has stolen your confidence? That way we can work together again to get that confidence back up, pile 3. I really want to see you strive. I really want to see you just have the faith, have it in yourself, have your self-worth, that self-esteem back, because this is a really hard place to be. I know that. So that is your reading, pile 3. If you'd like a private one, there's a link in the description below. I thank you so much for allowing me to read for you, and I can't wait to read for you again. Bye-bye.